Good evening. Welcome to News Blitz. Heavy rainfall wreaked havoc in several parts of Kerala. The Alua Mahadeva temple, which is situated on the banks of the Periyar River in Kochi, submerged underwater. The water level has increased significantly in the Periyar River following incessant rains. The rural areas of Kozhikode, Malappuram and Kannur districts witnessed massive waterlogging and landslides. The Shrikhand Mahadev Yatra has been affected because of extremely heavy rainfall. The rains triggered landslides in parts of Kulu as well as nearby areas. The Shrikhand Mahadev Yatra is one of the toughest religious pilgrimages in the world. Many glaciers have to be crossed to see Bholenath at an altitude of over 18,000 feet. Several animals and birds were rescued after a flood-like situation arose in Navsari district in Gujarat. Rescue teams also provided food to the animals that were stranded in the flood-affected areas. Several NDRF teams have also been deployed across Gujarat for rescue operations. Delhi sighed a breath of relief today as parts of the city received rainfall. The Met Department has predicted strong winds of up to 30 to 40 kilometers per hour. Cloudy skies and very light rainfall are also on the forecast for Delhi on Sunday as well. Very light or light rainfall could persist from the 19th of July to the 22nd. The monsoon mayhem in Maharashtra continues. It's claimed over 100 lives since the 1st of June. The State Disaster Management Department has said that 2 deaths have been reported in the last 24 hours because of rain and flood-related incidents. Amid incessant heavy rainfall in Doda district in Jammu and Kashmir, the water level in the Chenab has increased pretty dramatically. The government has issued a red alert in the low-lying areas of the Union Territory. Once again, because of heavy rains, the Amarnath Yatra has been stopped from both sides. The main route will now be examined, and if found not slippery, only then will the pilgrims be allowed to continue with their yatra. As part of the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebration, the Jammu and Kashmir government has formed a high-level committee to implement the recent decisions taken on the Har Ghar Tiranga campaign. While the move was welcomed by the BJP, the PDP has called it a childish move.
महबूबा मुफ्ती बार बार भारतीय झंडे को लेकर के जो आज़ादी का अमृत महोत्सव मनाया जा रहा है उस पर सवाल खड़े करते हैं। तिरंगे की बेइज्जती करना इनका शुरू से काम रहा है। 70 साल इन्होंने उस झंडे को प्रायोरिटी दी, जिसके कारण से अलगाववाद, आतंकवाद और परिवारवाद ये सब चीजें चलती रही।
Yet another distraction move of the government. The government never wants to address the main issues: unemployment, poverty, other hostile issues facing the country, the common man. They keep on distracting, they keep on generating controversy out of nothing, out of no issues.
A Pakistani woman was nabbed on the Chakandabag line of control in Poonch by security forces. The infiltrator was nabbed in the forward sector where attempts to trespass the border took place a few days ago. The woman, in fact, was handed over to the J&K police. The Srinagar police have stopped 5 youths from joining terror ranks in Jammu and Kashmir. In fact, all 5 were planning to go to Pakistan for weapons training in Lashkar-e-Taiba run camps. Sections 13, 18 and 18B of the Unlawful Activities Prevention Act has been invoked against them, as well as the recruiters about the whole conspiracy. In order to revive the dying Kashmiri art form of paper march, Shafia Bashir, an artist from Srinagar's Lal Bazar, has started making paper march designs on things like Kashmiri Kangri. Shafia says that she's got very good response from all over the world for the revival of this cultural act, and people now are appreciative and supportive of her initiative. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today inaugurated the 296-kilometre-long Bundelkhand Expressway. The expressway was built at a cost of 14,850 crores. This 4-lane expressway will pass through 7 UP districts. The foundation stone for this expressway was laid by the Prime Minister in 2020, and the project has been completed in a record span of just 28 months.
आदरणीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के कर कमलों से 296 किलोमीटर लंबे इस एक्सप्रेसवे का उद्घाटन होने जा रहा है। यह बुंदेलखंड की अर्थव्यवस्था को और उत्तर प्रदेश की अर्थव्यवस्था को एक नया आयाम प्रदान करेगा।
ये एक्सप्रेसवे बुंदेलखंड की गौरवशाली परंपरा को समर्पित है। योगी जी के नेतृत्व वाली सरकार में कानून व्यवस्था भी सुधरी है और कनेक्टिविटी भी तेज से सुधर रही है।
Samajwadi Party leader Akhilesh Yadav has taken a dig at the Uttar Pradesh government on the Bundelkhand Expressway project. He shared a video of the under-construction expressway on Twitter and asked, what is the hurry to inaugurate it even before completion? The Gujarat Special Investigation Team has made a massive claim that Teesta Setalvad received a Padma Shri for her attempts to conspire against the then Modi government. The SIT has been investigating Setalvad on charges of fabrication of evidence and conspiracy linked to the 2002 Gujarat riots. After the Gujarat SIT's shocking revelations about Teesta Setalvad, BJP spokesperson Sambit Patra took a jibe at the Congress and its leader Sonia Gandhi. He said that Teesta Setalvad was working to destroy the then Gujarat government and wanted to defame the entire state. He also said that Sonia Gandhi, through Ahmed Patel, tried to destroy the then Chief Minister Narendra Modi.
अहमद पटेल जी के माध्यम से सोनिया जी ने नरेंद्र मोदी जी को घेरने की चेष्टा की, उन्हें अपमानित और उन्हें किस प्रकार से निष्कासित किया जाए इसकी चेष्टा की। और ये पूरे षड्यंत्र की रचयिता सोनिया गांधी है। 30 लाख का पहला किस्त सोनिया गांधी जी ने तीस्ता सेतलवाड को दिया। अहमद पटेल जी हमारे बीच में नहीं है, अहमद पटेल जी ने तो केवल डिलीवर किया।
After Sambit Patra slammed the Congress, Congress leader Pawan Kheda countered the BJP, stoking a controversy because elections are approaching in Gujarat. He also alleged that the SIT chief, who had given the clean chit to then Chief Minister Modi, was made an ambassador subsequently after years of retirement.
जब भी गुजरात का चुनाव आता है, भारतीय जनता पार्टी, नरेंद्र मोदी जी और उनका जो इकोसिस्टम है, वो नए नए थ्योरी सामने लाता है। हर बार गुजरात चुनाव जब आता है तो कभी अंसारी जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे, कभी स्वर्गीय अहमद पटेल जी का नाम लेकर शुरू हो जाएंगे। हर बार चुनाव आता है तो आप कभी किसी मुस्लिम नेता का नाम जरूर लाएंगे। कांग्रेस पार्टी इस तरह की राजनीति में विश्वास नहीं रखती।
A day after the Lulu Mall controversy in Lucknow, another video of a man offering namaz has emerged where he can be seen offering the namaz on a platform number 3 in the Charbagh station in Lucknow. The video has been doing the rounds of social media since then. Members of the All India Hindu Mahasabha have protested and registered a complaint regarding the same.
स्टेशन पे जिस प्रकार से वहाँ परसों वहाँ पर नमाज पढ़ी गई जिसका वीडियो वायरल हुआ है, तो उसको लेकर हमारा ये कहना है कि उनको पकड़ा जाए, चिन्हित किया जाए। उसके अलावा वहाँ पर जो मज़ार बनी है, मज़ार की आड़ में बांग्लादेशी घुसपैठियों का पनाहगाह बन गई है वो मज़ार, और रेलवे का आर्थिक नुकसान भी हो रहा है। ये जल्द से जल्द इस पर कार्रवाई करें।
Another fresh controversy has erupted in West Bengal, where posters calling Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee anti-tribal have been put up by the BJP. The poster also shows NDA's presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu and Prime Minister Modi. TMC leader Sukhendu Shekhar Roy, in an address, called out the BJP for misleading people by spreading falsehood.
बीजेपी कुछ नहीं कर पा रहा। भ्रम तैयार करना चाहते हैं आदिवासियों की मन में कि तृणमूल कांग्रेस के साथ मत जाओ, लेकिन वो लोग आदिवासी लोग जानते हैं कि ममता बनर्जी का जो कर्म सूची प्रगति का, जिसके कारण उनको अब पिछले दिनों से ज्यादा प्रगति हुआ है, वो ममता बनर्जी का नेतृत्व में ही काम करेगा और काम कर रहा है।
After the key BJP meeting, Jagdeep Dhankar has been nominated by the NDA for the post of Vice President. The nomination will be filed on the 19th of July and the election for Vice President is scheduled to take place on the 6th of August.
सभी नामों पर गौर करने के बाद हम सब लोग और भारतीय जनता पार्टी की संसदीय बोर्ड इस निष्कर्ष पर पहुंची है कि उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए भारतीय जनता पार्टी और एनडीए के प्रत्याशी के रूप में हमारे किसान पुत्र श्री जगदीप धनखड़ जी को हम उपराष्ट्रपति पद के लिए अपना प्रत्याशी के रूप में घोषित करते हैं।
4 people have been arrested in connection with the Patna terror module, while 3 were arrested Thursday. The cops have arrested another one last evening, and they've found Pakistani links in this case. The police have also found that the accused was operating through WhatsApp groups. He was also a member of Ghazwa-e-Hind.
कल एक और महत्वपूर्ण गिरफ्तारी हुई है। जो गिरफ्तार अभियुक्त है उसका नाम है मरगूब अहमद दानिश। एक ऐसा नंबर पता चला था जिसमें बहुत ही आपत्तिजनक पोस्ट, राष्ट्र विरोधी वीडियोस, नारे इत्यादि उनका प्रचार और प्रसार किया जा रहा था कि ये व्यक्ति गज़वा हिंद नाम का संस्था के साथ जुड़ा हुआ था।
Ahead of the monsoon session of Parliament, Lok Sabha Speaker Om Birla chaired a meeting with leaders of all political parties. Birla briefed them on the preparations related to the session, which is all set to begin on the 18th of July. And ahead of the Parliament monsoon session, an advisory has been sent to members from refraining from distribution of any pamphlets, leaflets or placards inside the House. This advisory comes at a time when opposition parties created a huge furor over the advisory on demonstrations and dharnas inside Parliament complex. TMC MP Jawahar Sarkar has written to Union Minister Hardeep Singh Puri regarding the makeover of the Ashok Stambh. Sarkar has urged the minister to undertake computerized checks to rectify distortions in the national emblem that is now perched on top of the new Parliament building. He also goes on to say that the national emblem is not an area where human error or artistic licenses can be permitted. In the Udaipur murder case, the NIA court has sent 3 accused to judicial custody. The sentence has been announced for Ghaus Mohammed, Riyaz Atari and Farhad Mohammed. After the remand period ends, they were in fact presented today in court. Remember, Kanhaiya Lal was killed on the 28th of June for supporting former BJP spokesperson Nupur Shah. The 16th round of the India-China military talks will be held on Sunday on the Indian side of the LAC in eastern Ladakh. India has been pressing for progress in overall bilateral ties and for quick disengagement of troops from all the remaining friction points in eastern Ladakh. After Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Rewadi culture jibe, Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal hit out. Kejriwal said that giving free education and free health treatment to people is not distributing freebies. It is an act of virtue and it's called laying the foundation for the future generations of this country.
मुझ पर आरोप लगाए जा रहे हैं कि केजरीवाल फ्री की रेवड़ियां बांट रहा है, केजरीवाल फ्रीबीज दे रहा है। मैं लोगों से पूछना चाहता हूं कि क्या मैं फ्री की रेवड़ियां बांट रहा हूं या देश की नींव रख रहा हूं? अगर मैं इन बच्चों को अच्छी शानदार शिक्षा दे रहा हूं लेकिन फ्री में दे रहा हूं तो मैं क्या गुनाह कर रहा हूं?
An Uttar Pradesh court has rejected the bail petition of Alt News co-founder Mohammed Zubair in connection with an FIR that was lodged against him for saying something in 2021 which allegedly promoted enmity among communities. Earlier on Friday, Delhi's Patiala House Court granted him bail in a case related to an allegedly objectionable tweet. India reported a little over 20,000 new COVID cases and 56 deaths in the last 24 hours. Active cases now comprise 0.32% of total infections, while the national COVID-19 recovery rate was 98.48%. The daily positivity rate was recorded at 8.4%. Former Tamil Nadu Chief Minister O. Paneerselvam, who's tested positive for COVID yesterday, has now been admitted to a private hospital in Chennai for further treatment. A central team has visited Kerala after a case of monkeypox was detected in the state. The central team met with health department officials regarding the case. The team will also visit Kollam district from where the patient is currently admitted.
People watch your show?
No, yeah, 2-3 people who don't know that you. Achha, okay. They all know your trivia, na? We all know trivia about you.
Point.
We all know too much.
Yes.
Yeah.
What's your question though?
That you signed this on before KGF, before Bahubali. No, before RRR, after Bahubali. So were you prescient? Did you know that this is the kind of film Indian audiences are going to like?
Unfortunately, I didn't write the film, so so actually he was someone who was, I guess, above.
Ekta and me.
Yeah.
Ekta and him were ahead of the curve. But at the time that it came to me, it seemed very exciting. You know, I felt very lucky to be offered a film like this. Yeah, and here we are sitting about the film. Very excited. 22nd July, the film releases, and the 2-3 people who don't know that, it's a action entertainer. It's a badass, entertaining film, and I hope everyone enjoys it.
Don't try to wrap up just yet.
क्यों हो गया? पीछे से बोले ना?
No one is saying. No one is saying. Lio is just.
He's playing with your psyche all along.
Does he do this on sets as well?
No,
do you
no,
guys
no.
feel very demotivated when you go home?
See, I realized
What is happening?
I wake up motivated.
Okay. And then you meet Ranbir.
Yeah. I'm fine.
See,
He's been demotivating me since
Every time
morning.
you do interviews, you always ask the masti-core questions. So when I am allowed to do masti, why only you are allowed?
That's fine. That's fine. But don't pretend on sets you're like very disciplined, very sweet, introvert.
Have you been on my set?
You're very disciplined on your set.
I don't know. Ask them. Am I?
Yeah.
He's very disciplined. No, genuinely, he is genuinely.
Above.
It's a shocking transition that happens.
Fine. It's a question I asked. Good to know.
She doesn't want to receive the answer, but she's living with it.
Okay. And as a co-star, he's okay.
Yeah, just about okay.
Just about okay.
He manages.
We manage. We jail him.
We sail through.
I know you did Kathak for this film. You prepared for this film.
I did.
What about you? You prepared?
I prepared falling down in a chair. For 6 months, I was just falling down chairs.
It's a larger than life role, and you're so real.
No,
let's.
On a serious note, this film came with a lot of challenges because it's a part which I've never done in my life. In the 15-year career that I've had, I'm playing 2 characters, Shamshera and Obbali. It was a character which was filled with angst. It's something which angst doesn't naturally come from me, and Karan's one requirement for this part was at the very onset of this film, he said that I need you to be angry. Do you get angry? And when I told him no, I don't get angry, his face had broken. He's like, you don't get angry, so how are you going to do this part? So I had to take a lot of help from Karan. He had to channelize him a lot because he is someone who has a lot of angst. And I think that really helped in portraying both these parts.
I don't feel you would be angry, but I feel like you're a little angsty. You can be angsty, no? A little about life, the bigger question.
No, but I don't know. Nobody's complained yet.
Okay.
Except you.
It's a good thing. Your characters have so much angst. Like in Ye Jawani Hai Diwani, so angsty.
Yeah, but those are all soul searching, and the villain was me only.
Welcome back. The Indian High Commissioner called on the Sri Lankan speaker today. According to a tweet, India appreciated the parliament's role in upholding democracy and constitutional framework, particularly at this crucial juncture. India has also conveyed that it will be continuing to be supportive of democracy, stability and economic recovery in Sri Lanka. The President of Sri Lanka is scheduled to be elected by Parliament on the 20th of July to complete the remainder of former President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's term after he resigned on the 14th of July. Prime Minister Ranil Wickremesinghe, who is the acting president, Sri Lankan MP Peruma and opposition leader Sajith Premadasa are in the fray to run for the president's post.
Our party is SJB and we have an alliance, SJB alliance. This is the main opposition party. Parliamentary representation is lopsided. It does not reflect the aspirations of the people of the country. Because today, the Rajapaksa ideology is a failed ideology. The majority that was attained in 2020 will be deciding on the future presidency.
More trouble mounts for Gotabaya as Singapore is not keen on keeping him for long. Sources have told CNN News 18 that Singapore is unlikely to extend Gotabaya Rajapaksa's permission to stay beyond 15 days.
People were suffering for food, water, gas, electricity and everything. They couldn't alleviate any of those things.
We are actually informing people, educating people on why parliamentarians shouldn't support Ranil Wickremesinghe.
Driving for from the get-go, but then that being said, it isn't the ultimate goal per se, so I think it's a little too early to do a victory lap celebration and all the rest of it.
China's workers face the economic pains from zero COVID as the country is also reporting its worst quarterly performance in 2 years.
China's zero COVID policy has inflicted devastating economic pain across the country. the policy has brought the cities to a grinding halt. There are people who haven't been able to access their own savings since April.
Was that your life's savings?
Yeah, for sure. I worked almost 10 years, and that's all I have with my family. I'm losing my weight. I'm losing my, my mind.
Just in June, massive protests broke out at the government building for 5 straight days, for more than 12 hours a day, only to be quashed by the cops violently. Local authorities later promised to start giving small payments to some such depositors. But still, there is no clear policy with people left in lurch.
New York's chief medical examiner has said that Donald Trump's first wife, Ivana Trump, died of blunt impact injuries to her torso. According to U.S. media reports, the police are investigating if she died after falling down the stairs, as the circumstances of her death have not been specified. Russia has once again stepped up its onslaught against Ukraine, with civilian casualties reported in several areas of the country. At least 3 civilians were killed and 3 more injured in Russian rocket strike in the northern city of Chuhaiv, which lies about 120 kilometers from the Russia border. North Korea today slammed Ukraine for severing diplomatic ties between the two nations after Pyongyang said that it was formally recognizing 2 self-proclaimed pro-Russia republics in the east of the country. This came after Ukraine had cut off its official relationship with the nuclear-armed state in response to Pyongyang recognizing the so-called Donetsk People's Republic and the Luhansk People's Republic. As the race to become Britain's next Prime Minister gains pace, caretaker Prime Minister Boris Johnson has reportedly told his allies to back anyone but Rishi Sunak. Now, this is according to a media report. Johnson, who resigned as the leader of the ruling Conservative Party on the 7th of July, has been urging defeated Tory leadership candidates not to back former Chancellor Sunak. The U.S. House of Representatives adopted 2 bills aimed at protecting access to abortion after the Supreme Court ruled that individual states can either ban or restrict abortion. The legislation passed by the Democratic-controlled House is unlikely to advance in the Senate, where 10 Republican votes would be needed to bring the measures to the floor. U.S. President Joe Biden has met with the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia, Mohammed bin Salman, on the attacks on dissidents during his visit to Saudi Arabia. In fact, Prince MBS drew global outrage for the 2018 killing of Saudi journalist Jamal Khashoggi in the kingdom's Istanbul consulate. This was through an operation that the U.S. intelligence services said he approved. Saudi citizens will soon be able to obtain 10-year visitor visas in an agreement during U.S. President Joe Biden's visit to Saudi Arabia. Under the agreement, the validity of visitor visas for Saudi citizens extends from 5 years to 10 years as of 1st of August. Biden is on a 2-day visit to Saudi Arabia that began Friday with a meeting with King Salman. At least 6 people are dead in the U.S. state of Montana after a windstorm caused 20 vehicles to crash together on the highway. The storm's heavy winds and zero visibility are believed to have contributed to the crash. The Montana Highway Patrol is investigating the incident and is expected to release more information. The BCCI has moved the Supreme Court seeking to amend its constitution with regard to the tenure of its office bearers, including President Saurav Ganguly and Secretary Jay Shah. The BCCI, during an AGM in December of 2019, had proposed 6 amendments which had barred the BCCI and state board office bearers from holding office for more than 6 consecutive years. The second ODI between India and England was a star-studded affair with the likes of Sachin Tendulkar, Saurav Ganguly, MS Dhoni and Suresh Raina in attendance. A day after the game, Master Blaster Tendulkar shared a photograph with West Indies legend Sir Garfield Sobers on Twitter. Manchester United has signed Christian Eriksen as a free agent on a 3-year deal. The 30-year-old switch to the Red Devils completes an incredible return after his brush with death last year. Eriksen suffered a cardiac arrest on the pitch in Copenhagen while playing for Denmark at the European Championship. He was forced to leave Inter Milan after recovering due to a Serie A health regulation. Biologists have tracked the last dolphin pod in Rio de Janeiro's Bay. Researchers say that the last spot of dolphins in the Guanabara Bay show some signs of recovery, where once thousands roamed through the rich fishing grounds offshore Rio, but falling victim to pollution and overfishing. The Academy Museum is all set to honor Julia Roberts at the second annual gala in October. The Oscar winner will be presented with the Icon Award in recognition of the significant global cultural impact of her career. Roberts won an Oscar in 2000 for her leading role in Erin Brockovich. Actor Julianne Moore has been selected to serve as president of the main competition jury for the Venice International Film Festival. The Oscar-winning actor will preside over a jury that includes French director Audrey Diwan, author Kazuo Ishiguro, and Iranian actor Leila Hatami. A video of a little girl touching the feet of a soldier has gone viral on social media. The video shows the little girl running towards a group of soldiers. One of the soldiers then bends to interact with her when she sits down to touch his feet to take blessings. The soldier, moved by the girl's gesture, shows her affection. People on social media are sharing the video with the caption, "Raising patriotic young minds is a duty every parent owes to this great nation." That's a wrap. Thanks for your time.